into it, I would like to welcome our first guest, Rob Dimmick. He is from Stages of Freedom. Come on in, you're the program coordinator. Good to see you, Rob, as always.
Hi, how are you?
So good to see you. So we have a big event coming up this weekend, Bow Ties for Boys, and always looking forward to this program. Just tell me a little bit about what you have going on.
Bow Ties for Boys is now in its 5th year, which is in itself, I think, remarkable. We started this program during the exhibit called Artist Rebel Dandy that was at Rhode Island School of Design Museum. I don't know if you saw that exhibit, but it was it looked at how men dress from beginning of time until present day. And one of the neat things about that is when we did that event, we did our workshop and then we took the young men over to see that exhibit. And for them to see men dressed to the nines was really exciting for them. So the bow tie, which I'm wearing one.
Yes, you look quite sharp. You look sharp, as always.
I try.
As always.
But the bow tie really is a sort of symbol of having your act together. So at the end of this wonderful event, it's an hour event with, we have 25 mentors, we have 50 boys registered.
Oh, 50 already, wow.
Yeah. And so they learn things like how do you shake a hand? And how do you press the flesh in a way that you're not sort of getting a weak
you don't give the dead
sense
fish.
of who you are. The dead fish, exactly. Making eye contact, stating your name, putting yourself out there. So we run those exercises, and then there's a receiving line with all 25 mentors where each boy has to introduce himself, shake hands, make eye contact, and have a brief conversation. This year we've added a new component where we'll take small groups of boys with mentors, and the mentors will talk about what they're doing in the community.
Oh, great.
With what they're, not only what they're doing in the business world, but what they're doing as an application. What are the things that inspire, and what do they aspire to?
Oh, wow.
So that we're really trying to excite these young men for the future that they sit before.
So let's break down, just kind of go through each activity that you're doing on this day. Let's start off with the handshake, because I always like that. You really have to be taught how to shake hands. I remember when I was in high school, that's kind of where I learned it. I took business classes and in DECA, I loved that program, but I had to learn, and that's where I learned no dead fish, because you learn that.
Exactly.
So if you are, it's youth, you kind of look for what you're saying, you recommend ages 5 to 13, right?
Yes.
So if you can learn that skill, really, how important is it, do you think, for young individuals to learn skills like shaking a hand and then going through and practicing it?
Well, it's not only important for young men to learn that, it's important for anyone to learn that. Because I still meet people, my age or older who give you this, this kind of limp handshake. And immediately you kind of recoil. And it's the first impression, even before something is said, about whether you have a sense of who you are, whether you're interested in meeting that person, whether there's a connection. So they practice that before they go through that receiving line. They also, have to state who they are. So as you're saying that, hi, my name is Rob, and you are?
Oh, I'm Molly. Yeah. What a pleasure.
So you're coupling those two things together, and also learning how do you remember who that person is you just spoke to.
Oh, and that's hard.
Yeah,
that's hard as an adult.
But it's important, And I think if the young kid can learn that quickly. What are the connections? What do you attach that to? So the next time you see that person, there's not this kind of blank moment. So more than anything, what we want these young people to come away from that particular exercise is you want to be remembered. You want to be someone who, when that hand hits the other hand, they say, my God, this is an impressive young man. And I'm really impressed when I meet a young person, 5 to 13, who knows how to shake a hand. I remember that person, and I want to know more about them. So that's a really important and exciting aspect. As I say, the new component that we've created, where they're actually going to get to spend some time with the mentors.
That's really neat.
I think it's important not only for the young people, but for the mentors, to know that they are important in this community, that what they have to offer is valued and goes miles to influencing a young life.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. Who are some of the mentors that are coming in? And I like what you said there. being able to, from both sides here, so for the young people who get to listen to people in their community and kind of look up to and aspire and see what's happening in their community, but then on the mentor side of things, feel like, oh yeah, I am making a difference.
Yeah, to me, it's a two-way street, and to me, the mentors are as important as the young men that come to this event. So we have people like, we have returning mentors like Charles Newton and Matt Santos. We have new mentors like Rafaela Dennis, who actually is someone that kind of grew up under my my watchful eye as a young actor, aspiring actor, who just, the moment I met him when he was probably 14 or 15, I knew that he had a spark. And so he's someone that, he's now on our board at Stages of Freedom. He's someone who young people, even though he's probably 22 at this point, immediately look up to.
He catches your attention.
He does. Another person who won't be with us this year, but was with us for the last 4, was Abe Vargas, who is just magnetic. He's probably 19 now. He's in New York City, and can't come back because of his obligations there. But again, he's someone that a young person, that a young person 5, 6, 7, 8 are just attracted to it because he's so magnetic. So we're excited about how easy it is for a mentor to say, yes, I want to be there, I want to participate. 25 mentors from our community are participating.
That's amazing.
I think it's extraordinary.
That's amazing. And to give young people within our community the chance to go do something like this, to be part of the community itself, and to have people to look up to. When you are looking for mentors, what do you look for?
Well, Ray Rickman and I, Ray is executive director of Stages of Freedom.
Hi, Ray.
We know a lot of people, and particularly, I'm not shy. If I see a young man of color walking down the street with a bow tie on, I'll go up to him and say, "Would you be? First of all, do you live in this community?" Yeah. I've met some people who say, "No, I'm just visiting."
No,
but
just walking around.
Yeah. I go to RISD, or I work at this bank, or any number of possibilities. And I say, well, we run a program called Bow Ties for Boys. Would you be interested in being a mentor? And 9 times out of 10, they'll say, yeah, sure. And then there are people that we know well, those that return and those that we meet in the last year or so, and we know that they're going to bring something to the table.
I like that. And how important is it, do you think, to find people who are from diverse backgrounds, all different sectors of the community, whether their career and
it's interesting because we had a doctor who we put out a call once we had about half our mentors. We said, we're looking for mentors. If you're interested, please apply. Send us an email and say you'd like to participate. We'll send you all the details. And if it sounds like it's something you're up to, because a lot of men don't know how to tie a bow tie. So we said, go to YouTube, find a tutorial, and learn how to tie that bow tie. Because at the end of the hour workshop, you're going to be, each boy gets to choose a fabulous bow tie. These are so $60 to $100 bow ties from places like Bow Ties of Vermont. Randa Foundation donated 70 bow ties to us.
That's cool.
Bow Ties in Vermont, and it's BEAU, Bow, for the last 5 years has donated ties.
That's really neat.
Franklin Rogers has donated ties for the last 4 years. So there's this exciting moment where they get to see these 150 ties laying out on a table and get to choose the one.
And some of them are probably so little too, because they're for 5-year-olds.
Yeah, well, but then they pair up with a mentor and they learn how to tie that bow tie. So it's really important that the mentors know how to tie a bow tie. Yeah.
I was looking at some of the pictures that you have on the website, on the Stages of Freedom website. Yeah. Oh, and it's so neat to see. I saw the group picture, and here are these young men just with big smiles, and they just look so sharp. So it seems like everybody, by the end of the day, knows how to tie a bow tie because they look sharp.
Go to stagesofreedom.org. Go to programs. The drop down will take you to Bow Ties for Boys, and you'll see the whole 5 years of what we've done. The Providence Journal did an amazing article with Richard Rose, who was our first keynote. We always do have a keynote.
He always looks sharp too.
Doesn't he?
It seems like he always.
I've
Every
never
time
seen
I've seen
dressed
him,
the same way
I know,
twice.
and I've always seen him wearing a bow tie. I've
Yeah.
never seen him not wearing a bow tie.
Yeah, so he was our first. We do have a keynote, short, 5-minute keynote. William Trisvant, who is an assistant attorney general here in Rhode Island, is going to be our keynote this year. Richard has it all together. He's got it all together.
And so I've read that. I mean, how can people get involved? So $25 to attend the program, but it's through sponsorship, right?
$25 is a sponsorship.
Right?
The
And so
boys
it's free.
pay absolutely nothing to participate.
So do you turn anybody away? Because people
No.
can come, right?
No, the kind of rabbit hole I was going down is
Yeah.
you were asking, what's required to be a mentor, and we did have a wonderful doctor approach us and said, I'm white. Is that an issue? And I said, are you kidding? No, I'm white. So it's important for us to know that we live in an interracial society, that we cross borders, and that we share the experience.
I love that. I love that. And I love that it's an opportunity for young people to be part of something, to learn valuable skills that I think, especially in an era where people are like this all the time, and yes, my notes are on here, so I use them, but to go out, to have a conversation. How important do you think that is, to be able to go have a conversation, shake a hand, and spend a few minutes where you're not leaning on your cell phone for a crutch?
It's incredibly important, and I think, as it was said before, that it's as important for the mentors as it is for the children. They come away empowered and uplifted by the experience, and we have a lot of feedback from the mentors after the fact. That was an amazing experience. I feel so enriched by it, because how often do you have that opportunity to share your gifts with 50 young kids that you've probably never met before and may never see again, but you make an imprint on their lives that is really lasting. And we tend to downplay the importance of those special moments. Because you may never see that young man again, or you may make a connection with a young man, and you as a mentor say, I'd love to, let's go out to McDonald's and have lunch someday. Let's continue the conversation. I want to follow what you're doing. Say an older young man who's 13, I would be happy to write a reference letter for you, or help you draft a resume. As both of these programs, the Girls' Tea Party, which happened last month, 50 girls going to the Lippitt Mansion, learning how to take tea, and have a conversation with another girl who's a total stranger. These are empowering events that are now taking us to the next level, which is working with older young women of color, and eventually boys and young men of color who are going to start graduating from high school, going into college, and need to learn important skills. Writing a resume, how do you interview? How do you look for a job? How do you hold a conversation? All of those things. So this is sort of a stepping stone to the next level, which I think by next year we'll have developed those. We have a whole series of women who are working with us on developing a workshop for young women moving into the professional world or the college world.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So
well,
we want to do the same with young men.
I can't wait to hear that. Can't wait to hear about the next steps moving forward. So the event is Bow Ties for Boys. You still have a couple spots open? I saw that earlier.
We're happy to have walk-ins. Registration. Because it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow at Central Congregational Church, 296 Angel Street. You'll enter the side of the church, the right side of the building. The event's at 10 a.m. We encourage people who may want to bring a young boy to be there by no later than 9:45 so we can get started right away and use the full hour. We're serving pastries. You'll leave with your own bow tie.
I can't beat that. Well, I love that. Well, I just was going to say, so tomorrow, 10 a.m., so get there early if you can at Central Congregational Church. Rob, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Before
Great
you go,
handshake.
Oh, thank you so much. I know. I learned that in high school. I had no dead fish. I'm sorry that my hands are so cold. He's probably like shaking my hand. He has nice warm hands. He's like, this girl's cold hands. Take a picture before you go. You look so sharp in your bow tie. Rob with Stages of Freedom, thank you so much for joining us. Let us know how the event goes tomorrow.
I will.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.